The first time Victor Wembanyama and Nikola Jokić faced each other was a lesson from the master, the best player in the world versus the potential next face of the NBA. But the flashes of greatness we saw would come from both master and pupil, and it started on the defensive end. So Jokić has a 74-pound weight advantage on Wemby. Therefore, the first thing he decides to do is post up the young fella. But the Spurs double, and Sohan tries to go for the steal. Jokić is strong enough to rip through the steal attempt, but when he goes up for the shot, he gets met by the infamous 8-foot wingspan at the apex. When Jokić tries to bait him for the reaching foul, Victor is aware enough to pull his hand away. So the Nuggets go into the next action where Strother sets a back screen on Victor, but Victor sees this and goes under the screen to meet Jokić at the rim for the block. Jokić gets the rebound, and from there, he shot fakes to lift Wemby. Because Victor is so eager to get the block, he is constantly falling for these shot fakes, and Jokić takes advantage after lifting the young fella for the second time before scoring the layup over him. Now, this has been a constant issue for Wemby, being disciplined and learning to stay down on shot fakes. But his defensive instincts are impressive for a 19-year-old. Here, the Nuggets are in transition, and Justin Holiday gets the pitch-ahead pass, but he's unable to control it, so he passes it back to Caldwell Pope. Jokić seals Zach Collins, and look at all the spatial advantage that he has created on the back end of the defense. But when Caldwell Pope tries to lob the ball to the open space, Wemby erases the advantage by getting the steal. When Jokić gets the rebound, he triggers the fast break. Good transition offense emphasizes maximizing space instead of clogging up the floor. What you want is to have two wings run wide and deep into the corners. Victor does a good job of tracking the ball, and when Jokić tries to lob it to Watson, those defensive instincts come in handy once again. But Victor isn't done doing damage yet. Here, Reggie Jackson comes off the ball screen, and when the help defender stunts, he kicks it out to Caldwell Pope in the right corner. Caldwell Pope punches the gap before hitting Jokić at the elbow and then front cutting his defender. But when he tries to hit the shooter in the opposite corner, Wemby intercepts the pass and erases what could have potentially been a wide open three. Wemby actually had 6 steals and 4 blocks in this game, and he did it all in only 25 minutes of play. We're talking about a defensive masterclass so rare that it puts him in an elite club of only 2 players. In the history of the NBA, only 2 players have reached 6 steals and 4 blocks in a game, playing no more than 25 minutes. The first being the legendary David Robinson, and now we have a second, Victor Wembanyama. But then the best basketball player on the planet begins systematically picking the Spurs' defense apart. Here, Jokić gets the ball at the right elbow, and when Strother back cuts, he hits him perfectly in the paint for the easy 2. Now the defense is on high alert for the back cut.
Strother on the back cut, spins it up and in.
So when Jokić gets the ball again at the same elbow, Braun L cuts into another back cut, and both Spurs defenders take the bait. This leaves Strother wide open at the top of the key, and all Jokić has to do is pitch it to him to sink another three-pointer. It's a masterclass in manipulation, and Jokić is the genius behind the curtain, pulling the strings. When Jokić inbounds the ball on this sideline out-of-bounds play, the Nuggets orchestrate a beautiful sequence where Caldwell Pope sets the back screen to free up Jokić for the one-handed layup off of the lob pass. I mean, you have to admit, the Nuggets playbook is a thing of beauty.
Spelled C-E-D-I, SETI, but it's Jenny. And oh my goodness, a beauty.
Here, Braun sets the off-ball screen in an action to open up Jokić for the entry pass into the post. But as soon as Jokić gets the ball, he immediately spins off his defender. Notice how Jokić hooks Bassey's left arm to eliminate him from the play. And from there, there's nothing Bassey can do to contest the easy layup. Jokić is in his 9th year in the league, while Bassey is in his 3rd year. And the veteran Jokić exploits his experience to get away with the illegal action.
Now Jokić by Bassey, and it's going to be a foul and 1.
But Wemby was not to be outdone by the master. On this play, he almost gives everyone a heart attack. After handing off the ball to McDermott, Victor rolls, but then gets the ball back on the pocket pass. With bad intentions only, and without even taking a dribble, Wemby goes to put Strother on a poster. But Strother is able to hold his ground, and hard fouls him instead. A lot of players would quickly get out of the way because they're afraid of getting dunked on and ending up on Sports Center. But the Nuggets found themselves a dog when they drafted this rookie out of Gonzaga. He is as fearless as a firefighter charging into a blaze.
Jokic is on the bench at the moment. Here comes Wemby!
Wow. I love the aggression, though. No fear.
When Wemby gets the ball on the right wing, he punches the gap on Michael Porter Jr. and then changes direction before bumping him to create space for the one-legged fadeaway jumper. The talent is there. The skill set is abundant. The only thing that's lacking currently is the efficiency. After blocking the shot and securing the rebound, the Spurs initiate the transition. But when Wemby gets the ball beyond 30 feet from the rim, he decides to pull up and drain the rainbow jumper in Jokic's face. Unfortunately, he is currently shooting 27% from 3 at the moment, which is the equivalent of shooting 41% from 2. Again, the efficiency needs to get better. The interesting thing about Victor is that he's actually really good at hitting the tough ones. When Vassell hands him the ball at the right slot, Victor decides to keep it at the three-point line. But when he sees DeAndre Jordan in drop coverage, he pulls up for the 3, gets fouled, and it's a 4-point play.
Victor for 3. Got it! And 1! A 4-point play coming up for Victor Wembanyama.
My comment section is littered with fans who are frustrated with Wemby taking so many threes. But here's the thing. In the modern NBA, for Wemby to become a true predator scorer like the one he will need to be, it's essential that he develops this part of his game. And you and I will just have to be patient through the growing pains. In transition with a 3-on-2 numerical advantage, Sohan hits Trey Jones on the right wing. From there, Trey lobs it to Victor, and it's a ferocious annihilation at the rim. And the and one.
Jeremy leading the break. Trey Jones, he's got Victor upstairs! Puts it in! Count the basket! Send him to the line for one more!
Wow. What a catch and finish by Wembanyama. What a pass, too. Is that a dunk? Does that count as a dunk?
After rim running and being the first person down the court, he seals his defender, and Cedi Osman delivers the lob for the uncontested reverse dunk for another and one. Context matters, which is why I include what year these players are in my titles, unless, of course, if they are a rookie. It is important to remember that while Jokic is now the best player in the world, his first 2 seasons in the league were losing seasons. It wasn't until his 3rd year that his team was able to be above 500 in the win and loss column. It wasn't until his 4th year that he made it to the postseason. It wasn't even until his 6th season that he was the MVP of the league. And lastly, it wasn't until his 8th season that he became an NBA champion. Winning is hard in the NBA. It takes a long time to learn, but as we watch this young Spurs team struggle, let us not forget to appreciate what we are watching. The birth of greatness amidst a sea of losing. Most of the greats had to go through this, and Victor is no exception. Anyways, wherever you are in the world, be the GOAT of that moment. Stay GOATed.
Jokic is on the bench at the moment. Here comes Wemby!
Wow. I love the aggression, though. No fear.